In this video, I want to address a fairly serious misconception about people who are atheists. To begin, I want to carefully define what it means not to be a theist, and I will show you why everyone you know is actually an atheist. The main reason I want to start here is because, all too often, people misunderstand the actual definition of an atheist, and assume the positions of atheists to be positions of faith. This opinion couldn't be farther from the truth, so, to begin, an atheist is someone who lacks belief in a god or gods. Now, this definition is fairly simple, but it's often misconstrued to include many other aspects. For example, many people claim atheists believe that a god or gods don't exist, while others claim that atheism is actually a religion. For starters, it's imperative to note that while atheists lack belief or faith, this does not mean that they have faith that gods don't exist. To help clarify this difference, consider this scenario. Let's assume there's a man who believes in a god that is outside of this universe and that never interacts with the universe. He, therefore, must have faith in that god's existence. With this faith, he runs to the nearest person he sees, who happens to be a skeptical person. The man exclaims, "Guess what? There's a god who is outside of the universe, who is omnipotent, omniscient, omnibenevolent, and eternal." To this, the skeptical man replies, okay, I would like to believe you, but can you prove his existence or offer testable evidence in your favor? Because until you can, I have no reason to believe that such a being exists. Now, who in their right mind would claim that the response of the skeptic was a position of faith? Most would rightly say that the skeptic just wants proof, and as soon as undeniable proof is presented, he will change his mind. To illustrate the converse, consider, for example, if the skeptic did in fact have faith that no gods exist. In this situation, even if evidence was presented that supported the existence of a god, his mind would remain unchanged due to his belief that no gods exist. This is the subtle difference between lacking belief in gods and believing in their inexistence. Now, due to laziness of speech and the common vernacular, many atheists will respond to questions of belief in God by claiming that they believe in no gods, or that they believe that God isn't real. As these exact opinions are clearly positive claims about the non-existence of gods, they are positions of faith. These, however, are not accurate representations of the non-belief of atheists. As it is important to know, no one can ever disprove God. To do so is like trying to disprove that there's a microscopic teacup orbiting Jupiter, except even more difficult. It would be unreasonable to claim that someone who lacks belief in such a thing would have the burden of proof and will have to disprove its existence. For this reason, the burden of proof is on the person who makes outlandish claims. In other words, disbelief until proper evidence is shown requires about as much faith as lacking belief in Santa Claus. That is to say, it requires no faith at all. Now then, among the claims being made by those who misunderstand atheism is the claim that atheism is a religion. Of all the claims being made, this is probably the farthest from reality. As a matter of fact, atheism is just about the complete opposite of a religion. Whereas religions often include dogma, doctrines, gods, ways to live your life, truths, paths, rules, and commandments, atheism is simply a word that expresses a single decision on one subject, the existence of a god or gods. Lacking belief in a god or gods requires no specific worldview, no dogma, no ways to live your life, no doctrines, no commandments, no hierarchy, no system of beliefs, and no gods. In addition to this misconception, many people also claim that atheists have no moral basis or standard, or that they are simply trying to evade the moral laws of a certain god. Although people who are atheists live many diverse lives and come from all walks of life, I can say with certainty that they all have moral foundations and standards. This particular misconception arises from failing to understand that just because an atheist does not accept the morals attributed to one god, this does not mean that no other moral standards are available to choose from. For example, if an atheist realizes that the morals of Zeus are less than godly, he needs only to look to the actions that are best for forming a stable and pleasant society. These often include not killing, stealing, lying, or acting in a cruel manner. Most atheists and theists alike realize that in order to function successfully in a stable and effective society, peace, freedom, and happiness are paramount. These staples of successful societies are most often the foundations of actions in the moral standards of atheists, who deny the moral standards of alleged gods. Now that we have better identified what the title of atheist really means, Let's get into the fun stuff. All of you watching this video, surprisingly enough, are atheists to some extent. My point can be best illustrated by quoting Stephen Roberts, who responded to a monotheist questioning him about his atheism. He put it like this: "I contend that we are both atheists. I just believe in one fewer God than you do. When you understand why you dismiss all the other possible gods, you will understand why I dismiss yours." This quote brings a realistic perspective to the question of belief in gods, and helps to illuminate the reasons why many atheists lack belief in gods. The most startling aspect of this quote, though, is that it shows us all that we are fundamentally atheistic. Think about it. The moment anyone accepts one or more gods, they are automatically excluding all other possible gods throughout all of human existence. While they may have faith in one god, or maybe even in many gods, they lack belief in most of the other possible gods. This reasoning clarifies the title of atheist. We are all atheists. We all lack belief in at least one god. It's for this reason that I made this video. Many religious people who misunderstand atheism sometimes develop negative connotations toward atheists. Far too often, this progresses into demonization, misunderstanding, marginalization, and ignorance of what atheism really is. These unfortunate circumstances are the effects of ignorance and the fear of what is misunderstood. In this video, I hoped to clarify a few misconceptions about atheism, and to help identify what it means not to be a theist. Now that you can recognize your own atheism, I hope you can continue to progress in your spiritual journey. I know I did.